So let's talk about the India story and how that is garnering a lot of traction as far as Davos is concerned. We are joined by Dr. Niranjan Banik, well-known senior economist. Dr. Banik, what do you make of how deals have been struck, MOUs have been racked up in Davos this time around, and how people are really turning up and turning a very, very serious ear to what Indian ministers have had to say in terms of telling its story, its blueprint for economic growth and progress of its people there at the world's economic mecca.
So, Gautam, at this point of time, what's happening in India, we were growing at 6+% level over the last few years, but this year, because of the election and because of other government activities, there was a dearth of capital investment coming into the infrastructural sector, because of which we have seen a slower down of growth rate for the last one quarter.
Now, yes, but the government is saying that it's a blip in Q2.
What is happening is there is a need for India to get access to technology, cutting-edge technology. For instance, if I'm talking about healthcare, for instance, if I'm talking about access to finance, for instance, even if I'm talking about manufacturing, be it automobile or electronics, there is need for India to get access to the cutting edge technology. So what we are seeing in Davos, what the leaders from India are trying to do, trying to negotiate whether all the electronic giants, all the automobile giants, all the AI-led companies, whether they are willing to invest in India, because through that, we are hopeful that we will get access to cutting-edge technology, because as you know, at this point of time, India, although is growing fast, we need technology, be it automobile, even in green energy, if you are looking into. There is a need for technology, and the way that technology can come into India is through the multinationals investing in India. So that is something I see some of our leaders, be it Chandrababu Naidu, be it Ashwin Kumar, or be it other leaders from other states, they are trying to bring in this foreign direct investment with the hope that it will also usher in technology flow to the Indian manufacturing sector. Because if you look into India's productivity, we are still 1/10 of the US productivity. And the reason why the US productivity is so high compared to India is because they have access to the cutting edge technology. So the need of the hour is how to ensure that the foreign companies are not only investing in India, but also at the same time, they are bringing the technology alongside them so that our productivity also increase, like what we see in the context of other developed countries.
And what do you make of the strategy that India has employed to go about doing this specifically at Davos, using the India Pavilion, ensuring that a lot of these chief ministers, some of them you mentioned, are there? Because as far as India is concerned, we are a federation, and it seems that we have cooperative federalism now working on foreign soil as well to bring in not just finances, not just investments, but as you mentioned, cutting edge tech as well, and other forms of assistance to ensure that India's talent pool also grows and benefits from international know-how.
Absolutely, because if you look into India, we are now housing the largest number of global capability centers around the world. 40% of the global capability centers are now based out of India. So what are these global capability centers? These are actually the offshore wing of the various multinational companies. Now, when you see the distribution of these global capability centers in India, it's spread across states, irrespective of which political domain we are talking about. So for instance, you will have most of the GCC spreading across, let's say, northern part of India in Gurugram, in Delhi. Also, you will find the global capability centers setting up their offices in Hyderabad, even in Patna and Calcutta. So basically, all the leaders, all the business political leaders, they know it is very important for their state to bring in business, because at this point, what is more needed is how to generate employment. And when we are talking about employment, the employment generation will only be meaningful if our labor force are skilled enough. So most of the political leaders, what they are trying to do, they are trying to ensure that the process of investment is smooth enough so that there is no kind of red tape or barriers when any government or any multinational companies, they try to set up their operation in that particular state. And that is something getting reflected when we see some of the state leaders, they are going and opening up their booth in over at the Davos.
Right. And what about the kind of challenge that is being posed by the kind of policies that Donald Trump is initiating in terms of America First, the tariffs that he's talking about, and he's saying that we will ensure that America expands in every possible manner, grows as well, even if territorial acquisitions are required. Do you think that is also a concern for people at Davos and also for India's business interests?
So if you look into the major tradable items between India and the US, you will find maybe 10% of those items are going to come under Donald Trump's tariff if he hikes the tariff. 90% of the items are actually outside the purview of whether Mr. Trump imposed tariff or he doesn't. So basically what is needed at this point of time is to look into our own domestic distortion, be it setting up a single window. It is very important that if you are trying to invite any foreign companies to set up their shop in your state, you should have a single window clearance so that all the red tapes kind of things are taken care of. It is also very important that the political thing does not intervene in terms of when the business is running. For instance, in some states we have seen there are instances the political party, they insist that their party members should be hired. So that kind of thing should not be taken into consideration when we are talking about whenever any foreign direct investment is coming into any particular states in India. Because at the end of the day, the more we give them what we call plug and play kind of resources, meaning that you give them the land, alongside you also give them access to water, electricity, environment clearance. So basically you are actually trying to reduce the number of file movement in order for any business to operate. So if you are doing that, you will see more and more investment coming into your states. And the prime example of that are the southern states in India, be it Telangana, be it Tamil Nadu, be it Karnataka. They have mastered this art of attracting foreign businesses only by providing this plug and play kind of infrastructure that I was mentioning about.
All right, and let's hope that more is put in place and the India story goes further and further, becoming a developed nation by 2047. Thank you for joining us and talking about it, Dr. Banik.
Thank you.
And still to